Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me on this late night stream. This is my second live going. This is my second time going live so late at night. But thanks for joining me tonight. All right, y'all. As you can see, you already see what the title of this video says. I was trying to, make sure that everything's together on the phone so I can be able to see y'all. Okay, so y'all already see what the title of this stream is. I have to cook tonight. I've been meaning to cook this for a while, and I have to do it tonight, for the week for the rest of the week. So tonight we'll be making some jollof rice. I've already made it before on this channel. So if you are not new here, you've already seen me make this a couple of times. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you're going to enjoy the stream. You're about to see a quick and easy recipe of how I make my jollof rice. So we're about to jump right into it because we made this before. So if you want to check out those other lives, you can totally go ahead or just join me tonight. I know it's late. I did not anticipate to go live this late, but I have to cook this and I decided to come on here and do it with y'all as I do it. So here we go. All right, you already know the jollof rice. We have our rice in here. I cooked it in the rice cooker, so it's already pre-cooked. And then we have the seasonings. Of course, my complete Italian seasoning. I'm gonna have some parsley, some garlic and onion powder, some oregano, sage, and curry powder, and of course my Himalayan powder. And then of course this is my jollof rice mix that I created from the tomatoes from my garden. I showed you guys how I made it. So these are the tomatoes and the peppers from my garden. So in here I have some tomatoes, peppers, garlic, onion, and ginger. And I roasted it, blended it with some olive oil, and then I stored it in my freezer. So we're going to be, that is the main base for the stew. And then tonight we'll be putting some Italian sausages in the jollof rice. So let me show you guys real quick. So here's the Italian sausages that we'll be putting in the jollof rice tonight for protein. And so now that you see everything, we have all of the ingredients. And with the jollof rice, the Liberian jollof rice, let's say, you can put whatever you want in it. You could put any kind of meats that you want in it, or you could choose not to put any meat in it at all and do it the vegan way. So, but tonight we're adding some Italian sausages. Thanks for being on here with me. Let me know where you're watching from. Yeah, I've got Italian sausage. Oh, good for you. All right, hey y'all. Thanks for being on here with me tonight. Let's get started. So this is the pot we will be cooking in. This is the pot we'll be cooking in. Let me get the oil. Tonight we will be using some Tonight we'll be using some oil that we used to fry the chicken with yesterday. So that's the oil that we will be using tonight. We fried some chicken yesterday and we're going to be using the oil from it. So typically I use avocado oil for this, but since I had the oil from the fried chicken, it's also going to give it like more flavor. So that's why we'll be using that today. Right now I have the stove on medium to high because I want the oil to get a little hot. And then we shall get started. Hey y'all, tell me where you're watching from. It's kind of late. I'm on the East Coast. So right now, I think it's like 10. It should be 10 o'clock on the dot right now. Let me know where you guys are watching from. All right, let's make sure y'all can see this really well. Gotta make sure this is in the pot. Let me know where you guys are watching from in the comments, y'all, so I can shout you out. Let's see if you guys are watching from the West Coast, because it is kind of late here. You guys are so funny. Hi, Amani. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Louisiana. Ooh, you might appreciate this. You might appreciate this jollof rice, Louisiana. How we're about to prepare it, because we have some Italian sausages, we have some onions and some habaneros. I think you might appreciate this. Shout out to Louisiana. Shout out to Mars. Hey, Bailey. The alien in the house. Hey. I come in peace. I come in peace. Where else? Where else y'all watching from? Don't forget to double tap that screen and like the video, y'all. First of all, thanks for being on here with me this late. I didn't anticipate. Well, Lord, I can barely say the word. I did not anticipate a lot of people being on here because it is kind of late. But also, Louisiana, you are probably like an hour behind me since I'm in Maryland. So it might be like 9 over there, right? I'm guessing, but I'm thinking that's the time it is over there. So, all right, so I think the oil's hot, so we're about to get started. This is gonna be kind of quick because the biggest thing is like pre-cooking the rice. So once you pre-cook the rice, it saves a lot of time, y'all. Pre-cooking the rice is such a great help. Yo, is it just me, or whenever like you fry onions, it smell like you're doing something like extra? It make you feel like you're a gourmet chef every time you fry onions. The onions just be smelling so good, especially when you add the habanero peppers. Oh my goodness, just be smelling so good, y'all. Be making you feel like you're cooking some gourmet. Okay, so it is 9 over there. Oh, cool. Okay, I had a feeling. I actually was in Louisiana, I think 2 years ago. Yep, I think it was 2 years ago. I came to watch the Ravens play the Saints, and we went to Bourbon Street. I hope you guys are staying safe. So sorry that tragedy happened over there. All right, y'all, so let's season the onions and stuff. We're gonna add some of the Italian seasonings in here. I'm putting a lot here because of the rice. So if this look like I'm putting a lot, I am putting a lot, because this is really the seasoning for the rice and everything else. So the rice and stuff's gonna soak it up. Hey, Donzel. How are you? I hope I don't have you up all late, because I know you're on my time zone. I was supposed to make this earlier, but I just got, so busy doing other things and had to put my babies to sleep, because, school is back on since they've been off school like since yesterday because of the snowstorm. So I'm going to go ahead and add the sausages now before I add the rest of the seasonings, so it can be cooking while we're doing all of this. But yeah, so the kids are going back to school. So I had to make sure I get them in bed. Alrighty. Did you guys, for those of you guys that got the snow, like, has it been cleaned up? Is it like, did they clean it up really nicely? I know for us here in Maryland, it used to snow a lot back in the day. But then I think because of global warming, it doesn't snow as much. So it's like, I feel like a lot of people got kind of lazy as far as like, not lazy. I won't say lazy, because it doesn't snow as much. A lot of people really wasn't as prepared. And I just remember like the people that plowed the snow, I feel like they only came like once because they had to go like everywhere to every neighborhood to plow the snow. So we was out there yesterday with the kids plowing the snow. This is sage, by the way. We're gonna add some black pepper. And so the kids, they were out of school yesterday, and then they closed the school today, and then they're going to school tomorrow, but they're gonna be like 2 hours. What is it? Starting 2 hours late. We're gonna add some parsley. Let's see what y'all talking about. Ooh, this smells so good. I know when you guys are on here with me, you're so used to hearing a bunch of noise in the background. Don't it sound nice and quiet? What dreams are made of. We're gonna add some onion powder. These sausages gonna be real nice and juicy. We're gonna add some garlic powder. This is a lot of sausages. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. All that rice probably not even gonna fit in here. I might have to take some out. It's a lot of sausages. Whew. Alrighty. Got a few more things to add, and then we're gonna add the tomato sauce, and then we're gonna close it and let it cook for about 10 minutes just to make sure that the sausage is done. And because like I said, the tomato for the jollof rice stew is already cooked because I roasted the tomatoes in the oven with some onions and stuff, so it doesn't need to cook that long. Y'all already know my favorite country onion. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. Give it that authentic African taste. And then y'all already know we gotta add some ground shrimp in here. I know y'all like, damn girl, how many things you gonna add in here? We adding everything. Okay. For the most part, majority of the stuff that's going in here are herbs anyway, so you don't have to worry about the salt content. Hey Owen, can I be a moderator please? Hi Lori, it's my first time seeing you here. Oh, before the shrimp. Oh, that was the I was trying to read your comment. I'm glad you said something. I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. That was the country onions. It's like onion powder, but it's not the regular big onions that they use for the onion powder. It's like the small little tiny orangey looking onions. They're like the onions that grows like really small, and it's like a special type of onion. And so what they do is they roast it or they let it dry out in the sun, and then they grind it into a powder. So it has like a very unique flavor and a very unique aroma. It's really good. It tastes really good in like a lot of dishes, especially like traditional African dishes. It adds to the flavor. I'll show you. I'll show you the package. You can find it. I've never seen it in like in American stores, grocery stores, but you can find it in like a lot of international stores. It's called country onion. It's like the small little onions. Lori, this is my first time seeing you on here. If I see you on here more, I'll make you a moderator. But that's what that is. But yes, it's a lot. It's a lot of spices. Thanks, Owen. It's a lot of spices, but it's not over. One is not overpowering the other. They all blend together very well. All right, now we're going to add our jollof rice base, which is the tomato sauce that I made with tomatoes all the way from my garden, y'all, from last year. Can y'all believe I still have this from last year? So this is what I'm talking about from last year. These are tomatoes that this is like a tomato paste that I made, and it is made with tomatoes from my garden, as well as onions, garlic, ginger. What else did I have in here? I got a bunch of other like herbs and stuff in here. And that was how I processed a lot of the, that's how I processed a lot of the tomatoes from my garden. Because, you know, if y'all saw my garden, you'll see that I grew millions of tomatoes. And I ate a lot of them fresh. But, you know, as time was going, I'm like, you know, I cook jollof rice like almost weekly. So what I did was I created my own jollof rice base, which was the tomatoes. Alrighty. Alright, I'm trying to make sure. If you guys are just now joining us, we're making some jollof rice the Liberian way. Please go ahead and like the video. I appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed, I don't know why I can never say that word. My goodness. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button on this channel. It's a purpose-driven channel where we, you know, explore our purpose through gardening, skincare, cooking, and all things natural. So if that's your vibe, you're in the right place. I'm gonna add some more tomato sauce in here. And this one, I got it from a auntie of mine that make her own jollof rice sauce. So she actually makes it and sell it. One second, y'all. So this sauce that we're using, like people actually make it, like the one I told you that I made, people make it and sell it. Because you could put it in your freezer. You can put it in your freezer. Honestly, I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to transfer this to like a bigger pot, because it's a lot. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of rice too, so I might transfer this to like another pot. I'm gonna add more sauce because I want it to be saucy for the rice. The tomato sauce that I made. But really what this is, I already told you guys if you're just now joining us, it's tomatoes with some red bell peppers, and it's garlic, ginger, and onions. And I sprinkled some Italian seasoning over it and some avocado oil. I roasted it in the oven for about an hour until like the liquid, the water, until like it kind of dehydrated a little bit, because you know tomato contains a lot of water. And then I blended it and put it in these little containers right here. I have a lot of them because I love Asian pho or pho. And so I have a lot of their containers, which comes in very handy. And then I store it in there. And I've been doing that since last year. These are the tomatoes from last year that I grew in my garden. And that was how I store them, because I know a lot of people that grow tomatoes wonder, like, you know, like, I can't eat all these tomatoes. What can I do with it? So this is just like a really good idea, because it saves a lot of time on cooking, prep time, when you're making like stews and you're making jollof rice. I gave you a like, that way I can surprise my family with something they haven't tried. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really hope you do make this. And please come back and let me know if you made it and tell me how it went. I made this a couple of times on my channel, so where I probably was more thorough with the information. I've actually made this on live where I made the stew from scratch, like on live, to show you guys the whole process. I know it's one of those lives because I have a bunch of lives. But if you search jollof rice, I'm sure in my my lives and stuff, it's probably gonna come up. It's some of like the earlier days. And then after last year, when I made like all these pre-made sauce that I stored in my freezer, it's been making life much more easier. All right, let's taste this real quick. It tastes good, but I still need to add like some more like salt content type of seasoning to have like a little bit more salt. And I'm gonna close it and let it cook after I do that. And then we're gonna add the rice. Hi, Montreal. Thank you. Thank you guys for being on here with me tonight. Where are you watching from, Owen and Montreal? Everybody else, let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Maryland if you are just now joining. Right now, the time is 10:18. So, I know it's a little late. I know it's a little late. But some of you guys may be watching from the West Coast, Midwest. And it's probably earlier over there, which is fantastic, because then I don't feel like I got you guys on here all night long. But this is just like the perfect time for me to go live and make this. I cook this, like, I would say weekly. So I'll either make this or make fried rice. So since I made this week, next week I'll make some fried rice. So I cook like a large pot for the week. And it's because this is something my husband and my kids like to eat. So I make this almost weekly. So you'll see me come on here making it a lot. Oh, North Louisiana. North Louisiana in the house. All right. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Louisiano Silva. Where are you watching from, Louisiana? Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? That's my that's as much French as I know. So I hope he doesn't come back with more. But I actually used to. This is more of the tomato sauce, y'all. If y'all wondering what I'm putting in here, I just want more stew. But y'all see how easy this is making my life? Because right now it's not really cooking to cook the tomatoes and the other stuff. Is really, I'm letting it cook so the sausage can get done. And once the sausage is done, the sausage is not going to take long to get done. Once the sausage is done, it's time to add the rice. But one last ingredient I'm going to show you guys that I'm adding in here before I start adding like the other things for salt and stuff. That's what takes the stew to the next level. So This stew right here, you could literally eat it with white rice. This is something that, you know, we make in West Africa as well. The red stew is like, we'll either make it by itself and we eat it with white rice, or we'll make it, you know, jollof rice, which is where you add the rice and you mix everything together. But this is just like this is curry. This is the ingredient I was telling you guys about that I'm about to add in here. Just add, you know, you don't have to add too much, but just adding the curry definitely make the difference in the taste. And then I'm gonna add some of the chicken cube in here for some salt content. And then we're gonna cover it and let it cook for like 5 minutes and prepare the rice to get ready to go in the pot. Already the curry powder definitely took it to the next level, for sure. For sure. Alrighty. You said that's more Southern Louisiana I'm speaking. I am so done. I'm over here speaking French. You talk about I'm speaking Southern Louisiana? That is hilarious. Oh, thank you, Keelio. I am making some jollof rice. This is just a base for the jollof rice. We're going to add the rice very soon. Jollof rice, kicking, get large. We're making jollof rice. I said, I'm sure I can find your recipe of how you make the tomato concentrate in your vids. Oh, I love all the spices, including that ground shrimp and curry. Absolutely, yep. That bayou talking. Nothing about that. I thought I was speaking French, man. Comment allez-vous? Don't you say comment allez-vous when somebody say bonjour? You say comment allez-vous is, you know, how are you doing? I think. All right, I'm about to get my cubes. And then we're gonna let this simmer for a little bit. Let me get my cubes in and we'll let this simmer for a little bit. Because, but yeah, the tomato, I think I also have it on a short. I think I made a short of it, but I have so many shorts. I'm not even sure how to direct you to that short, but I have a lot of video of me making this rice and me explaining how I did the tomato base, which is the main base for the jollof rice. And what I love about the jollof rice is that, you know, if you're vegan and you don't eat meat, it still tastes good because the meat is not required in jollof rice. As a matter of fact, a lot of African countries in West Africa do not, you know, mix their rice with meat. It's only the Liberians that I've seen add meat in their jollof rice, you know, while they're cooking it together. Other African countries, they cook the meat separately. But in Liberia, we put the meat, we put everything together. So it's almost like jambalaya for real. Like we put all the meats together, and we like to, you know, we do it all together. We don't separate anything. And my husband is Nigerian, and a lot of the Nigerian jollof rice I've had, they cook their meats like separate, so they'll make like a stew like this and put it separate with like maybe chicken and whatever they decide to include in it, and then they'll cook the rice with just the tomato sauce. But in Liberia, like typically, I don't eat a lot of meats, but in Liberia, like typically we'll have like chicken, we'll have sausages, we'll have shrimp. I mean, anything you think about, we'll have it in here. But the essence of it is like, you see the color, it's like it's gonna be like a red, orangey type of look. All right, I'm gonna add 2 more cubes to this, and then that's enough of like. So this is the Knorr chicken cube, and I'm using this for like the salt purpose. It's not a very salty cube, but instead of using salt, I like to use like spices that have salt in it, because that way it adds to like the flavor, and you're not just eating like food with salt, you have flavor. And one thing about Liberians, we like flavor in our food. We cook for flavor. So even if we're not cooking with salt at all, we will cook with a lot of herbs, because what herbs does is it bring out the flavor in whatever it is that you're cooking. So you'll see that I cook with a ton of herbs, and you're probably going to be like, oh my God, why do you have like a million different things in here? But what you're not realizing is that it's not salty at all. It's just the different herbs is for like the different palate on your tongue. You know, it's like just exciting your tongue and taking it through like a whole cultural experience of what you're eating. And that's like, I don't just like to eat food. I like to have an experience, you know, on my tongue, and remembering places I was when, you know, I taste a certain thing. But that's how Liberians cook. We cook for the flavor. All right, let's get our rice ready. We're gonna cover this up for 5 minutes and then get our rice ready. Don't forget to double tap that screen, y'all. Like the video, please. We have a new Liberia, Louisiana. You was okay. You said I was speaking French, Cajun French. Hilarious. I'm just not educated enough in that. That's hilarious. Like, dang, I don't know. For some reason, Cajun French just sounds like it tastes so good. Like, it sounds like some delicious food. That sounds like something delicious. You read my mind on the shrimp. Yep. We will add, like this, we will add shrimp. When I tell you everything you can think about, we will add it to this. I mean, as long as it's not like, we won't add like fish or anything, because, you know, fish gonna break up in there. But we'll add smoked turkey, everything. We will add it in here. All right, I decided to add 1 more of this chicken Knorr. And this is a big pot too, y'all. So when you guys are cooking yours, you know, cook it based on the pot size that you're cooking. And what I tell people is that when they're seasoning their food, especially if you're seasoning your food that with a spice that have salt in it, start little, start gradual, and then until, you know, I guess, you know, because some of the stews, they have to dry, and the drier it gets, the saltier it will become if you have like a lot of salt. So you want to start gradually, and then as it dries, you could taste it and see if it has the salt content that you want. And then if it doesn't, then you could add a little bit more, instead of, you know, adding a bunch of salt in the beginning, and then when it dries, you out of luck. All right, y'all, I'm gonna cover this up for about 5 minutes. It's on medium heat, and now we're about to prepare the rice so that we can get started. It tastes good. About to get the rice started. Let's see what y'all's talking about. Let's see what the people's talking about. Oh my God, red snapper is so delicious. I wouldn't mix red snapper in here and add rice, only because unless it is boneless. But if you're adding fish, you want to make sure that it's boneless. I wouldn't add fish in here at all because it breaks up. Unless, like with us, like, you know, we cook like dry fish. So if it's like dry fish, yes, but if it's like any kind of fish that's not dried, it's gonna break up. So I would avoid putting fish in here, especially if you're cooking for other people. You don't want them choking on some bones. But every other meat, totally, totally. All right, so we about to get the rice together. But red snapper on the side, if you have some fried red snapper on the side, oh my god. Or some, so with the jollof rice, we do eat it with fish, but it's like on the side. So like we would like either put it on the grill. So that red snapper you're talking about, we would grill it, out, with some charcoal, or you could put it in the oven, or you could fry it, and it goes so good on the side. Oh my gosh, y'all. Now you're making me hungry, and I can't really be eating this late. All right, so I was just trying to make sure I cover all your comments. Now we can get the rice ready. So getting the rice ready is really like just making sure that it's like separated, properly. Because the rice is already cooked. So I just want to make sure that it is properly separated. And y'all, so this way of cooking the jollof rice is like the easy and lazy way, I guess, because if you're in Liberia, we soak the rice, so it's like we will like wash the rice, and this is parboiled rice. You can use any kind of rice. Jollof rice tastes really good with basmati and what's that other rice? Jasmine rice. Ooh, it tastes so good. But you will have to cook it probably a little bit different, because jasmine and basmati rice get soft so easily. So you probably won't need to soak the rice. You could just wash it and cook it in the tomato stew like this. But if you're using like parboiled rice is the rice grain is a little harder than jasmine and basmati rice. So then you will have to like wash it and let it probably sit in some water for about like an hour, and then you strain the rice out, and then you put it in the tomato stew that you're cooking for the jollof rice for the base. If you don't want to do that, because after that you will have to like then cook the rice and make sure that it gets done to like the softness that you want. If you want to avoid all of that, cook your rice in the rice cooker. It's already done. The stew is going to be already done when you're done cooking, and you're just mixing it together, and then probably covering it up for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just so that the soup and the rice can get into each other, and that's about it. So I like the easy route. Yes, I love basmati rice. I love basmati rice too. I think, you know what, after we're done with this rice, because what we do is we buy the rice in like bulk. So we'll buy like 100-pound bag, because rice is like the base of everything that we eat. So we make a lot of like stews and soups that's made to be eaten with rice. So, and y'all, the reason why the rice is like this is because I actually cooked this rice yesterday. So it's been in the fridge waiting for me to cook this. I was supposed to prepare this yesterday, but I made something else. If y'all was on live with me yesterday, I made the obono stew, the obono soup that we ate with the fufu. And I was tired. I was like, I know I told you I was probably going to go live later to make this rice, but I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to have to come on here tonight and make it with y'all. But this is something that I make weekly, so it will either be jollof rice or some fried rice. And then like the rice, so when I make this jollof rice, it's going to stay, I put it in like a big bowl, it sits in the fridge. And then, my husband and the kids can eat it throughout the week. And then we have like a soup or a stew that they could use to eat with something else, which was what we made yesterday. So since I made that, so I'm making the jollof rice that they could have on the side. And then they might have like some fried plantains, and some like other snacks, or some like meat pies, and stuff like that they could snack on. So that way they have like 2 to 3 things that's in the fridge if they want to like switch it up with what they want to eat. And then of course during breakfast they eat like breakfast foods like waffles and stuff like that. And then for lunch and dinner they could switch it up to see what they want to eat. I don't cook every single day, because I know people was asking me like, girl, do you cook every day? I don't cook every day. I cook in bulk, and then I freeze it. So like if they get tired of eating, let's say they get tired of eating this, I have some soups in the fridge that they could just go and get. You know, we could defrost it and then prepare rice, and then they eat it with it. But that's how I cook. That's how you'll see me on here like once a week, going live, probably preparing food for the week. Typically, that will be on Sunday, where I go live and prepare, you know, the food for the week. Let's see what y'all talking about while we getting the rice ready. Let me close this thing. Is it disturbing y'all? This is my spice pantry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm missing your Mantra said I cheat and get the basmati rice in the steamable bag you put in the microwave. Robert said that's a lot of rice. Oh, I'm making jollof rice, Robert. I'm making jollof rice. That's why you see it's a lot of rice. That's right. That's right. That's right, Mantra. I'm cooking for all of y'all. I'm making jollof rice for all of you guys. Please, my people, y'all let's eat too. Y'all let's eat. So in my culture, that's how we invite people to eat. So, you know, if you're eating, and typically, you know, if you're back home, you're eating outside, like on your patio, your neighbors, you know, they could be passing by, or whoever is passing by. And if you're eating, how you would invite them, like the polite thing to do is, you know, other than saying, oh, hi, if you're saying hi to the person they're walking by, you would say, hi, let's eat too. You'll say, my people, let's eat too. So we're inviting you, you know, to come and eat, even though, you know, you're a stranger. And some people will be like, oh, thank you, and keep it moving. And some people, if they're hungry, they might come and actually sit down and eat. So it's like a way to build community. And it's just like that community aspect of like, we're all one. And so, you know, there are some people that are hungry and don't have, you know, they don't have food, or that might just be the meal that might be the only meal they had that day. So you inviting them to eat is such a blessing. So it's like, it's such a great blessing to invite people to eat whenever you're eating, especially if you're eating outside where people can see you. So if you're eating outside, you're just like, my people, let's eat. Also, you guys are my people. My people, yeah, let's eat too. I'm cooking for y'all. I'm cooking for y'all. My people, yeah, let's eat too. Let's eat too. Yo, when I was growing up, as a kid, and we used to, you know, like I said, it's a polite thing to do, to, you know, invite people to eat. And you may almost look like selfish if you don't invite people to eat while they're standing there and you're just eating. Like, it might look like you're a selfish person, right? So it's like, that's, you know how your parents teach you how to say, you know, thank you, like, you know, things like that, like politeness, how to be polite and kind. That's one of the things that we're taught, is to invite people to eat whenever we're eating. If we see people, you know, in our surroundings, so if they're just standing there, you don't invite them to eat, it almost look like, oh, you're a selfish person, you're not inviting them. But when we were younger, it was like a thing of like going to school. Like if you're in school and your mom give you like 50 cents, because that's how much they used to give us for lunch. They give you like 50 cents for lunch, and you go buy your lunch, and you know you're eating something that you really like, and you're like, and you really don't want to share, but you have to say, you know, my people, let's eat, or you have to mean it. You know, you can't just say, you have to mean it, because that person can come and say they want to eat. So me and my sisters and my friends were like, my people, let's eat, oh, but you like low key, like, please don't come. But they could still, but if they come, like, it's not a big deal, but it's just like, let's eat, but please don't come. And and it's a saying. It's like, let's eat, but please don't come, literally. Because people will actually take you up on it. But I'm inviting y'all to eat. All right, I think our stew is pretty much ready, so we're about to go ahead and come in there. Let me read these comments real quick, and then we could go put our rice in there. I already read that. My trust is, I read that. This is how I make rice. I feel you. Yes. All right, so let's check on our stew and see how it's doing. So y'all saw what I was doing, you know. I was just separating the rice, making sure, you know, it's not too sticky, you know, when it get in there. So it's good now. But this is the parboiled rice. The way I cooked it, I did not cook it with like too much water. I wish I could explain what I'm talking about. But I did not cook it with enough water where it will be like extra soft. I add just enough water where it will be like al dente, but a little bit more done than al dente, because al dente is like kind of raw, right? I'm not sure. Like how you would cook pasta is is the amount of water that I put in here. So, because I don't like the rice to be like mushy with jollof rice. You don't want the rice to be like mushy. You don't want it to be too soft. You want it to be just right, like the so let me show y'all. Y'all see how like the grain, it's not so easy to like squish and stuff. You want to make sure, like, you know, that's how your rice look. But anyway, let's kind of see our stew before it burns. Before it burns. Oh, I'm making a jollof rice stew. You're about to see real quick. All right, I'm going to take some of the oil from on top. Let me take some of this oil from on the top. But the sausage is cooked. The main thing we were just worried about was making sure the sausage is cooked, and it is. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. Alrighty. I'll make sure I take as much oil as possible, because you don't want your jollof rice to be oily either. You don't want to be eating a bunch of oil. Just needed just enough oil to make the stew. If you choose to keep the oil, I ain't judging you, okay? That's your business. Cook it however you want. All right. Also, when you're cooking this stew, remember that it can stick to the bottom very easily, so don't cook it on like too much of a high heat. And then also, it pops. So be mindful. It pops, and it might pop on you. All right, let's check out one of the sausages and see what's up with it. All right, this is one of the sausage. Perfect. Perfectly cooked. You can see here. And since I took it out, I'm gonna taste it. I can't wait. Ooh. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh. It was so good, y'all. I love Italian sausages. Ooh. All right. I'm going to take some of the stew out just in case the stew is too much. So I'm going to take some out, and if I need to add it, I will add it. But the stew is ready. So what I do is I start off like small, and then I am going to add the rice. For jollof rice, it is very unknown to add boiled eggs, but it is a protein, so if that's what you want, go ahead. I feel like boiled eggs will like pop, not pop, but break off in it after you cook it in there. So I don't know, that's something that would definitely be something new. I've never done that before. I've never seen. What's crazy is actually now that I'm thinking about it, if you're a Ghanaian, please raise your hand. If you're a Ghanaian in here, raise your hand. You might be more familiar with boiled eggs. So it's like a running joke. You know, Ghanaians love to put eggs in everything. They might put eggs in this. I've never seen Ghanaians like cook the jollof rice with eggs, but they definitely put like eggs on the side, like boiled eggs. They put it on the side with it to eat it with it. Guys, please don't forget to like the video. I appreciate you. Liking is a free and easy way to support my channel, and it's going to bring more people on here that are interested in my content. And if it's not too much to ask, I would love if you could subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. I'm trying to meet my goal of 2,000 subscribers by the end of the month. That was my goal for last month, and I'm almost there, so I'm super excited. All right, now the work begins, y'all. Now you about to show all the muscles you got in your hands, because you got to stir this baby and mix it all up. You got to mix it up. And while you're mixing this up, you could put your the stove on low, like your stove. It could be like on like a medium to low, because you don't want the stew to be burning on the bottom, because it burns very easily. And then also, if it has reached to the stew that you want, you know, for your rice, you don't want it to keep drying, because the stew should already not have a lot of water content. So you don't want it to keep drying too much. I'm about to get another cooking spoon to stir this rice, because my arm's already shouting. I'm still eating the sausage. It's so good. Thank you, Montreal. Okay, you're of Haitian descent. Okay. See, that's what I was telling you. Montreal, the jollof rice, you are mixing the whole thing together. I'm so mad. I forgot to add one ingredient, which is bay leaf. If you're making this, add bay leaf to the stew. If you decide to make this, add some bay leaf. I might still add the bay leaf. Actually, I'm about to add it now, since I'm gonna let the rice cook for like 5 minutes anyway. But typically you would add the bay leaf to the stew. Let me go ahead and get it. Where's my bay leaf? Where is my bay leaf? That's so weird. Okay. I can't find it. There's no bay leaf today. But yeah, the jollof rice is like you're mixing everything together. Like everything. And you see the reason why I took some of the stew out, because I felt like, you know, it was a lot of stew and it's starting to look that way. And I'm glad I took some out, because if you need more stew, you could just go ahead and, you know, add it on. And with that stew, what you can also do is put it in the freezer for another time if you want to make this again. Or you can use that stew and eat it with white rice by itself, or eat it with other things, like pair it with other things. So I still have like more rice in the pot that needs to go in here. So let me get it together. Let me get this rice together in here. Let's see. Gumbo. Okay. You think that's our version of gumbo? I'm trying to think what I think our version of gumbo would be, because we have other soups. Because gumbo has rice in it, right? Because we make pepper soup. We make a soup called pepper soup. And I would say that would be our version of gumbo, but with the absence of rice. We just don't add rice in it, but we add everything else in it except for rice. The rice would be, if you decide to eat rice with it, it would be like on the side. All right. All right, so now we have all the rice in here. I could have used a bigger pot. Oh well. The rice is pretty much cooked anyway, so it's just about mixing. So it can get messy. It can get a little messy. Let me taste this rice. Mmm. Yo, it's so good, y'all. It is so good. Ooh. Not the spoon trying to run away. Thanks for liking the stream, y'all. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for liking. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. First of all, thanks for being on here with me tonight. Is anybody watching from the East Coast? Because it's like 11 something here right now. If you're watching from the East Coast, can you let me know where you're watching from? Because I'm on the East Coast, and every time I go live at this time, I'm like, ain't nobody going to be on here. But then, you know, I be forgetting that America is big, and there are different time zones. So this could have totally used a bigger pot. So this part of the mixing of the rice into the jollof stew, I typically use my husband. I asked him to come into the kitchen and mix it for me because he got bigger hands, and I feel like it's easier for him and not as much work as for me because I have small hands and it gets tired very easily. But you just want to make sure it is mixed very, very well. And what I'm doing is I'm just mixing this side, and then I'm going to turn the pot around and mix that other side. So if you're wondering why I haven't gotten to that side yet, I'm just trying to make sure this side is good before I go to the other side. Ooh. You might be sweating a little bit. And also, don't do what I did. I cooked the rice, and because I didn't cook, you know, I didn't cook the jollof rice yesterday, that's why you see the rice is a little bit hard to work with. But when you cook the rice in a rice cooker and you're cooking, you know, your jollof rice that day, it should be very easy to work with. But, you know, after the rice sit overnight, you know, it tends to get like, you know, all stuck together and stuff. And then what I did, I forgot to boil my rice with a little bit of oil. So when you're cooking your rice in a rice cooker, boil it with like a little bit of oil. What that does is that it keeps the rice from, you know, sticking together, so it can be easier to work with. That was the one thing I totally forgot to do yesterday, was to add a little bit of oil to the rice when I was cooking it. All right, let me turn the pot around and do the other side. Woo. And y'all saw all that stew I took out of the pot. That's crazy that it was that much. I'm happy about it though, because I'm totally gonna use that stew for something else, and or store it in the freezer for next week if I make jollof rice again. I said, when you think I could really taste it. Yara said, I love the rice being kind of clumped. Oh, really? But not too much. You like that? Yara, where you from? You like the rice being clumped? Where you from, Yara? All right. I hate this is I hate the rice being clumped like this, like the way Yara likes it. Because the stew has to go everywhere in every fiber of this rice. So, and if you like to eat rice, this is just another way to spice up your life with some rice, you know, with rice. Make some jollof rice. Rice could be made in so many different ways. That's why I love rice. In the summertime, I make this rosemary fried rice because my neighbor has a huge rosemary bush, like huge. And every time she harvests her rosemary, and I grow rosemary too, but her rosemary is way bigger than mine. I just started growing rosemary last year, so mine is still a little bit small, but hers is humongous. Like it's almost like a tree. And so she's always giving me like rosemary. So after, sometimes I dry some and blend it, you know, for spice, and freeze some, and then I make like rosemary fried rice with it. It's so delicious. Or like a coconut milk rosemary fried rice. So I would make some of that with y'all another time when I get some rosemary this summer. Because the rosemary I have now is all like, I turned them into spice. I dehydrated them and then blended it into like spices. Wow, y'all. Do y'all see how the rice, I didn't need all that stew? Like, I literally have like a whole jar of stew that I could use another time. Like, or, you know, if my husband want to eat it with something else, like we have yams and stuff that you could eat the stew with, like some yams. And, you know, I'm actually surprised today that my rice is not as spicy, because I tend to cook with like a little bit more pepper, but I'm very happy that it's not too spicy because my kids love jollof rice and they eat spicy food, but not my level of spice. So when you're cooking this, if you're cooking it for yourself, add a little bit more, you know, habaneros, spice it up a little bit, you know, to get the full culture of jollof rice. Add a little bit of pepper. Oh, this is perfect. Oh my God. This is perfect. And you see me still mixing, because as I'm bringing it up top, I'm still seeing like stew. So there's stew at the bottom, and I'm trying to make sure that it all get mixed up. Ooh, my arms are tired, y'all. Let me read some of these comments while my arms relax. Oh, you're Lebanese. I love Lebanese food. I love me some Lebanese food. Do Lebanese people eat biryani? I think so, right? And being Liberian, there's a lot of Lebanese people in Liberia. So I've definitely eaten a lot of the Lebanese food. Francesca said, how many people will eat it? I'm afraid it will spill because it's overload. I know. Francesca, trust me. I'm having many attacks over here too. So do you eat your rice using utensils or left or right hand? Um, I eat with like the rice. I eat it with utensils. I mean, but we still eat with our hands too. You know, you can eat it with your hands. It is a part of my culture to eat with your hands. But with rice, I typically would eat it with like spoon. But if I'm eating like fufu with like soups and stuff, I'm eating with my hands because there's just no other way. I mean, you know, it's like a spoon that God made for us. Like, come on, it's like, you know, SPOON, spoon. So this is my other spoon for my other food. So that's the other spoon I use. But when I'm eating rice, it really all depends. So, you know, it is part of our culture in Liberia to eat together in like one big pan. So like a rice like this, if when they cook it, what we do is they will put it in, like if you are there with like your friends or even your spouse, if you guys are together, they'll put your food together in like one big bowl. And like we typically would probably eat with our hands, you know, if we choose to. Like, it's not strange to eat with our hands. Also, I feel like when you eat with your hands, the food tastes better. I don't know what it is, if it's like the chemistry with your hands and the spices of the food, and I can't explain it, but it feels like the food tastes better when you eat it with your hands. I really truly believe that. I truly believe it tastes better when you eat it with your hands. And y'all, so when you cook this, right, of course it tastes good, but let me tell y'all when it tastes better. When it sit overnight and all the seasonings and spices and flavor like sink into the rice. Like imagine like when you marinate like chicken and you let it marinate for like a couple of days and let it sit in whatever that season that it's sitting in. That's how jollof rice is. So when you cook the rice and you mix it together, like it'll taste, you know, fantastic that day, but you start realizing like how really delicious it is like the days to come, because of it's sitting in its flavor and this spice heaven of marinade we got going on as the jollof rice sauce. But I feel like that's when it tastes even better. All right, I think I will do one more sweep around just to make sure that there's no stew on the bottom, and then we're gonna be done, y'all. We're gonna be done. So in this stage right now where you see the rice is ready. You know, the rice is already cooked, the stew is already cooked, so it's ready. But what I'm gonna do is cover it up with like some aluminum foil and cover it up and let it sit, you know, for about on the stove under like a medium to low heat, and let it sit for about 10, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and just let it sit. And it's still, you know, doing what I'm telling you about the whole process of the spices, you know, going into the rice and letting it, you know, get all of that flavor from the stew. But y'all, Italian sausages, I just like it tastes really good with this rice. I've tried other sausage. I used the last time I think I made this with y'all, I think I used chicken sausage. It was pretty good. But I think I like this Italian sausage. I think I like this one better. It's just juicier. It's juicier. But next time, since I've made 2 different sausages with you guys, now next time I might not add any meat, so I could do it for the vegan people, so y'all can see how y'all could make this, you know, a vegan meal. You don't need to add any meat at all if you have any, you know, special allergies and stuff like that, or just, you know, like health wise, if you don't want to eat that. And it still tastes just as good, it just don't have meat. So all right, y'all, I think we're good with the stew. So this is how you want to find out if you have like stew on the bottom. Like pick the rice up from beneath and pick it up like on the sides, like go like around the perimeter of the pot, and, you know, pick it up from there and bring it on top. And then when you look on the rice, that's where you see like, oh, is there stew there? Because that's where they hide. That's where the stew be hiding. It's not hiding in the middle because you're constantly staring in the middle anyway. And then sometimes, you know, the sides, I mean, I get the love that it needs to get. So if you cook this rice and your rice seems like it's a little bit dry, it doesn't look juicy, because, you know, you want your jollof rice to be nice and juicy. If it doesn't look as juicy as you want and you don't have like extra stew, because you could still add like the extra stew like you saw that I took out. If it doesn't look as juicy as you want, you could add the extra stew. If you don't have the stew, just put like a little bit of butter on top and stir it in the rice, and it's gonna give you like that nice and juicy jollof rice. But that's all, folks. Our rice is ready. Our rice is ready, and I'll just try a little bit with you guys because it's kind of late and I don't eat this late, because I know people talk about how they hate when people cook and then they don't try the food with the audience. And they're like, you just gotta cook the rice and not try it? Oh my God. Yo, my arm, I swear, my right arm, you don't want to fight me, okay? Because my right arm is strong, honey. Because it does all the stirring for everything. I'm gonna put a little bit of, but yeah, this is what it looks like, y'all. This is the jollof rice right here. If anybody asks you who makes the jollof rice in West Africa, I want y'all to remember to say Liberians do, because you just saw me cook some Liberian jollof rice, okay? You know, the West Africans, we have like all this jollof wars of who cooked the best jollof rice. So jollof rice is like, it's a typical rice that's made in West Africa, and each country cook it their own way. And we're always fighting over, or the Ghanaians and Nigerians are always fighting over which rice tastes better. And I always say Liberians don't participate in those jollof wars because, you know, what's understood does not need to be explained. Clearly, we make the best jollof rice. Right, y'all? Right? I'm about to make a lot of people mad in the comments. If you're African, you're watching this, and you're West African specifically, don't get mad, okay? It is what it is. All right, y'all, let's come see what this rice is about. But y'all, before we taste this rice, look at the amount of stew that I took out. Let me show y'all. Look at the amount of stew, y'all. Look at the amount of stew that came from this pot. So this is now extra stew that I have to go and make more jollof rice next time, or use it for other food that I'll be cooking. You could literally eat this with white rice by itself. Clearly it's been mixed with the white rice, or, you know, make it a side with other things. So there you go. We have our extra sauce for later. So let's go ahead. Let me get a spoon so we can try this rice. And now I'll let y'all go. Ooh, child. And then I can read your comments before we go. Make sure y'all can see me. Hey y'all. Let me see some of your comments real quick. Tell me again what's, okay, wait. I want to make sure I'm reading. Is this biryani? No, it's not. Cute in that. I'm not really gonna try to pronounce that name, child. But cute. No, it's not biryani, but I love biryani. It's my favorite. I love biryani. Oh my gosh. So do you eat your rice using, oh, you already answered that. I already answered that question. Oh my gosh. I want to try so bad. Sorry if I misspelled it. Are you saying fufu? That is so funny. That spelling is hilarious. It's basically F-U-F-U. That's how you spell fufu. But this one is funny. At least I know what you're talking about. It sounds the same. That is hilarious. Francesca said, tell me again what ingredients you use for it, how it's supposed to taste. Can you describe it? Francesca, you're gonna have to go back to the beginning of this live. That's a lot of information. Montrell said, I think it's the added sodium from your fingers. Never thought about that. That make it taste better eating with your hands. Like down south, we eat grains and cornbread with our hands. Ooh. That makes a lot of sense. But I need to taste this rice before I continue reading your comments. Let's taste it together because I know you're waiting for me to taste it. Oh, Lord. I almost dropped the thing. I'm not even going to eat all this rice. This is a lot of rice. I should take some out, y'all. It's too much. It's late. All right. My people, y'all, let's eat. Oh, my people, y'all, let's eat. Let's eat. We're eating Liberian jollof rice. Cheers. Okay. Yeah. It amazes me every time how good this tastes. Also, fun fact, jollof rice is not my favorite food. I only cook it because my family like it, but it's not my favorite food. And I think the reason why it's not my favorite is because we ate it so much growing up. This is like having cereal in your house. And that's what jollof rice is. Like you're always gonna have jollof rice in the house. If you don't have, you know how they be like, oh, we got McDonald's at home. This is our McDonald's at home. Oh, you want to eat out? We got jollof rice at the house. That's what you're gonna eat. But it's delicious though. Our Italian sausage, my favorite part. The sausage just takes it off. But you're supposed to mix it with the rice and eat it. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. Let me read the rest of this comment. I might need some water. I don't even have water around here. I thought this wasn't spicy. It's spicy, y'all. It's spicy. Alright, let's read the rest of this comment so I can let y'all go. It's kind of late. Alright, so Macho said, ooh, so you use Italian sausage. Yeah, I did. So more like a jambalaya. That's what I was saying. This is like a jambalaya. It tastes really good. I love the Italian sausage with this. Mary Post, can we freeze the rice? Yep, you can. If we made too much and save for later. Yes, you can. And it's going to taste the same when you defrost it. So let me just let you guys know. In this house, I don't cook every day. I cook large pots of food and put it in the freezer. So I have a deep freezer. And I cook large pots of food and then separate it in like smaller bowls and put it in the deep freezer. So that way, you know, my family don't have to eat the same thing every day. So I have multiple meals in the freezer. So depending on what they're feeling like eating, you know, this day, they'll just pull it out, put it in the microwave, defrost it, or put it in a pot and defrost it and eat it. It's going to taste the same. And if you feel like you defrosted it and it has a little bit of water because of the freezer, so you want to make sure before you freeze it that it's not hot. You don't want to freeze it while it's hot because, you know, the condensation and from the steam and stuff, it creates liquid. So you just want to make sure that it's not warm or hot when you freeze it, so that when you pull it out the freezer, it's not creating like water. But if it does have like a little bit of water to it, you can just put it back in a pot and let the water dry, or put it in a microwave and let the water dry. But it's not going to lose the taste. It's going to taste the same. By the way, the tomato sauce that you see me made the jollof rice with, this is from all the way summer last year, 2024, that I grew in my garden. So these were tomatoes that I grew in my garden last year. I had like an over surplus of them. I roasted it with garlic, ginger, and onions, and like habanero and just different Italian spices and some olive oil. Roasted it in the oven so that it could dehydrate a little bit, some of the water content. I blended it, put it in the bowl that I just showed you guys, and put it in the freezer. And I still have I have maybe like 10 more of those bowls of the tomato sauce to go in my freezer. And and I've been cooking this like almost like weekly, because like I said, we don't have McDonald's money at home. We got McDonald's at home. This is our McDonald's at home, so it's constantly in our refrigerator. Thank you, Mariposa. Cynthia said, I need some. Come get some, Cynthia. Hey, Don. Welcome, welcome. You literally came at the end, Don, but I appreciate you for being here because it was kind of late. Let's see. Mariposa said, I'm going to rewind that. Looks amazing. Thanks, Mariposa. Let's go. Cheers. Cheers, Macho, when I was eating. Okay. And then, yes, jollof rice. Jollof. Jollof rice. And Mariposa says, subscribe, do your thing. Oh, thank you so much, Mariposa. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. I can never say the word subscribe. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, for liking the video. I appreciate you because it is a way of supporting my channel, and I truly appreciate your support. Montreal says, is that your husband's shirt? It says the pop-up hair. Yo, the things that people pay attention to is hilarious. Yes, it is. I'm wearing my husband's entire outfit. My wife always wears my clothes. I am cracking up. How did you manage to see this? Oh my God, that is so funny. Yes, I'm wearing my husband's entire outfit. It's, you know, sometimes it's more comfortable. It's just more comfortable. And it's like easier to get. It's like right there, you know? It's easier. Your wife sounds like a wise woman. All right, Mariposa, thank you guys so much for being on here with me tonight. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe if you love the vibes over here. We do a lot of gardening content, and I do a lot of garden to table content because I grow a ton of stuff in my garden, and I come and show you guys how I prepare them. And me being West African, you will see a lot of traditional West African meals being cooked versus maybe American meals, but I love, cooking other cultures, especially in West Africa. I love like cooking like other West African culture dishes. But I also want to like expand into like Middle Eastern food. I love Middle Eastern food, like the biryani. I'm not sure if it's just Middle Eastern, but I know that a lot of different countries eat biryani too. I want to, prepare that with you guys. It'll be my first time doing it, so that's a challenge for me. But I also will be making like, other American dishes too. As a matter of fact, on Thanksgiving, I prepare. I think, actually no, Christmas I prepare all American food, and I don't know if I prepared it with y'all, but anyway, so yeah, that's what we do on the channel. We do a lot of like garden to table, a lot of gardening. I'm starting my seeds at the end of this month. I'm in zone 8A. I will be starting my peppers and some African eggplants, and I'll be starting some herbs because herbs take a long time to grow. Like it has a long growing process. So I'm starting herbs, I'm starting some flowers, and I'm starting my peppers and the eggplant the end of this month, and I will be recording that for y'all. Last week I dropped a video about all of the failures that I had in my garden last year and what I plan to do this year to combat those failures. This week I will be sharing with you guys all of my successes of the gardening and just taking you guys like, over memory lane of all of the great things that happened in my garden this year. So stay tuned for that. It will be dropping this weekend. So if you're interested, and yeah, so that's about it. I'm on all the social media platforms at Miss Yancey Network. If you choose to, or if you just like it here on YouTube with me, I'm also grateful for your subscription, and your likes. So I hope to catch a ride with you guys another time. Thanks for cooking jollof rice with me, and please let me know in the comments if you are gonna cook it. Also, can you guys let me know if y'all want me to cook like any special meals that you might be interested in from West Africa or wherever, and I'll get it to y'all. I really enjoyed being on here with y'all tonight. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And if you're snowed in or whatever, be safe. My people in Louisiana, be safe. I love you guys so much. Love Louisiana food. And all of the people that's on here tonight, love you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening, or wonderful night, should I say. Now it's the nighttime. I think I see a comment before I go. Let me answer it real quick. Oh, you have a good night too, Nikki. Have a good night too. And Mantra, I appreciate you for subscribing. Absolutely. Looking for some more content. Absolutely. Mariposa said, found you in the algorithm. I love that when the algorithm work. I'm excited to look up some of your videos. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I hope if you guys are gardening, I hope y'all follow my garden journey and grow something. You don't have to grow all of it, but grow something. That's really what I'm here. I'm really here to share my gardening experience to hopefully encourage you guys to grow something, because nowadays the food is all every day is a recall of something. But gardening have really like saved me in a lot of ways. It brings me a lot of peace. It's a sense of like therapy for me. So when I started doing my gardening, I started recording. I was like, let me share and see if other people can relate, and people started to love my gardening and my gardening itself and the process of me going through it. And there are people that don't garden at all that are subscribed to me. They just enjoy the views, the scenery, and just being out there in nature. So if you're one of those people, subscribe to your girl. And occasionally you might hear me do that. I do sing a little bit sometimes. Don't forgive me, okay? All right, y'all, let me let y'all go. I think I've talked enough. But remember, this how I always end my video with this. Remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. Love y'all. Have a wonderful night. All right, let's turn this off. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It was so fun. And I hope y'all cook your jollof rice. Don't forget to let me know if you cook it. Oh my gosh. Get you a closer look of this beauty. Here's what it looks like. And I was like sitting on the It was sitting on the tripod, so just in case y'all didn't get to get a closer look, this is what it looks like. You see how juicy it is? Not dry over here. All right, good night, y'all. Let me let you go. Thanks for all the likes and the subscribe. I appreciate you.